it's time to run the New York City Marathon. Let's do this. So to give a little bit of context in terms of how this day is going to look, I'm currently in Lower East Manhattan. This is where my accommodation is. And the race starts on Staten Island. So for those who are a bit unfamiliar with New York in terms of the 5 boroughs, Staten Island is very far south. It's quite far away. So I have to go to the New York Public Library, which is Midtown Manhattan. And I need to get a bus, which will be 90 minutes over to Staten Island. So I've got about an hour and 20 minutes to play with. During that time, I'm just going to be, this is the stuff I need to wear to the start line. I'm going to give it to charity because I can't take anything with me post that start. But I'm going to get some food in me first. And then I'm going to get my race gear on nearer the time. My watch is charging. I have a little Apple Watch Series 9. It's not the Ultra. It's not a Garmin. But it does the job. And so yeah, let's get some food first. So we're gonna have about 100 grams of Rice Krispies, or maybe just over, which is gonna be around 80 grams of carbs to 100. Bagel, just gonna have it dry, guys. Apologies. But this literally has no fiber, which is great. But at the same time, I need a little bit so I can go to the toilet. So this is where this comes in. We have, what's that time today? We have 5 hours till race time. Okay, we're out the building. Little Powerade, banana, bagel. It is 10 to 5 in the morning. I'm feeling good. I've just seen a rat. I've just seen 2 rats. Jesus Christ. I'm making my way now to the subway. Thank goodness the subway here in New York is 24/7. Gonna get on the subway. It's about 20 minutes to the Midtown Library. So I'm hoping to get there for about 5:20 with the bus setting off at 5:30. Let's do this. Let's bloody do this, people. It's time to run a bloody marathon. Come on. We're in the subway. I think I've made it by 2 minutes. That would have been really, really awkward because if I'd missed this train, I think the next one is in 30 minutes. So, good job. I am here, getting this train.
Good luck, guys. Show your bid. Show the bid.
Di idratazione all'interno dell'area di partenza.
So we're here on Staten Island. It's pretty cold, can't lie. There's a lot of people here, currently perched on a little hill. Eating a bagel. We've got 2 hours till we start. Have I told you that it's cold? I think I may have. Don't know where to get a coffee. I might get a coffee. Stay tuned. A huge part of getting ready for a marathon is doing what you need to do in private, okay? I am the first one in this cubicle. Portaling. I'm just gonna be here for 5 minutes. It's 8 o'clock. We have 1 hour and 10 minutes until race time.
From your pro runners and all of our partners, we want to thank Department of Transportation, the Park Department, NPS, FDNY.
This is it. This is it.
Hello to Andrew, to Patrick,
Sub 3.
to Luke, Adam, to Jacob.
Come on. I'm cramping up.
White mirrors, get the front track up, coming across that finish line.
Come on.
And we are on the lookout for our very own Vice President of Strategic Planning and Analytics, Matthew Breeze, out there. Where are you, Matthew? Congratulations on finishing your...
Everybody go!
Yes.
Everybody go! You did this! Well done! Go! Everybody go!
Oh my God. So 3. Oh my God. Okay. The race is done. He's got his medal. I'm trying to find my family. 2 hours 46:55. I will take that any day of the week. First marathon, sub 3. The training's paid off. I'm overwhelmingly happy right now. The adrenaline is still kicking in. Oh, I'm in way of the police. There they are. I can see them. Here we go.
That's so heavy!
2:46. 2:46. So happy. So it's all over. What has felt like, I'll say felt like, it has literally been 2 years in the making, and overwhelmingly happy, inspired, grateful. All of the emotions I'm experiencing right now. I don't even think I've contextualized why it has meant so much, but obviously it's a New York City Marathon. It's my first ever marathon. I was meant to do this marathon last year, having qualified for it in 2022. I got injured last year. A lot of lessons were learned, and then I came back what I feel stronger this year. And to not only do it and to get sub 3, but to do it in that kind of fashion, it's just an incredible feeling. And yeah, I was just overwhelmingly grateful that I've been able to share the journey and that people have even showed interest in the journey. And, you know, I do hope that people have found some inspiration from it. And, you know, whether it's a marathon or whether it's a half, a 5, a 10, or any other goal for that matter, you know, I pride myself on what I do. You know, my day job is to be a coach, and I feel like a fraud if I'm not putting in the discipline and making the sacrifices needed to achieve goals that, I say life changing, they're moments that you'll never forget. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget the moment of crossing the line. I'll never forget the moments I shared seeing my family in the crowd. 2 times I saw them. And this is why I do it, to share and to create these memories. And so, yeah, just really, really grateful. To give a little bit of a rundown, I don't know how this video is going to look, by the way, but here we go. I went through all 5 boroughs. I'll put the map on here somewhere. But I went through all 5 boroughs, briefly went through the Queens, and briefly started on Staten Island. Brooklyn was the main district, a little bit of the Bronx and Manhattan. Those are the 3 main ones. And honestly, the start was a bit chaotic, and I don't know whether this is a case, and, you know, please comment down below if you have more experience. This is my first ever marathon. I have no idea how it works, but if you do have experience, please let me know. But I got the impression that people put predicted times that weren't realistic. So in their head, it means that they're at the front and that they can get space with how busy the event is. And with no disrespect to people running slower than me, it's not ideal when I'm running in amongst people who are doing 4-5 hour marathons, because it's just too slow. And at the beginning, there was a whole concoction of different paces, and it just made it very difficult to navigate. And so, yeah, that was like a brief annoyance at the beginning. So naturally, I was notably slower than I'd planned. So then I had to pick up in the 2nd and 3rd kilometer, but it was easily addressed. But it was just something that I picked up on. I thought this could have been organized a bit better, I think. But again, I could be wrong. And honestly, the first half of it, I breezed. It's very deceivingly hilly, New York. And I think people who have ran it will agree with this. Undulating, like Brooklyn, there's moments where it goes down, so it's a very subtle district where you're subtly going up and it feels like you're going up forever, and then opposingly, but there was more ups than there was downs. And yeah, the first half felt comfortable. And then I got into the second half of the race where I went over Queensboro Bridge, which goes from the Bronx into Manhattan. And that was treacherous, like 2 miles, it felt like uphill to then come back down. I kind of found a bit of momentum again. And it was around 30 kilometers, I started to feel the onset of cramp in my left quad. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, right, how do I navigate this? Are my running mechanics perfect? Not that they were perfect at any moment, but are they efficient? Are they effective? Because usually that cramp, mainly due to electrolytes, imbalance of sodium. So I was taking on some Gatorade and the water, but you do have to be very mindful when you feel the onset of cramp that you are running as efficiently as possible. Because if you're not, it's going to aggravate that cramp more because you're overusing certain muscles in order to move, and that is going to aggravate certain areas, especially if your quad is such a big muscle. But anyway, had a little bit of cramp, navigated it, managed to take on some electrolytes and some water. And I'd say there was a turbulent 5K in and around 35 to 40. And then I got to Central Park. And by the way, stunning. But again, it just goes uphill. The whole side of Central Park is deceivingly hilly. Like if you were looking at it from the beginning of the sideline of Central Park all the way forward, you can't see the other side. It's just up. And obviously when you've ran best part of 40 kilometers at this point, oh my gosh, brutal. But again, pushed through it, and then I got into Central Park, and 1 kilometer away from the finish line, I seized up. I got cramp in my legs, and the medics were like kind of rushing me to take me off. I was like, no, I have to finish this. My journey doesn't end here, or certainly doesn't pause here. So again, took on some Gatorade, kind of shook the legs a little bit, and then slowly kind of moved into pace again. And then I finished, got over the line. So, I mean, look, I did it in 2:46. I'm not going to sit here and critique it too crucially. Yes, there are opportunities that I want to work on. Where I work on that, I don't know, but I'd love to think that there's another event. But for now, I'm just so happy. I think, for some people it's just a race, it's just 26 miles, mate. Why are you getting so emotional about it? But just like anything that's worth fighting for, worth working towards, it's the sacrifices, it's the early nights, it's the early starts, it's being able to say no to certain social occasions, it's having the discipline to turn up when you need to train, weight training, running, to just casually go and do a 30-kilometer run on a Sunday. It's not normal. And I really want to stress, like, running a marathon is not normal. And I feel as if it's getting normalized. I think I've mentioned this maybe before somewhere, but it's not a normal thing to do. It's a lot of effort, and you're very naive to think that you can just turn up and just run 26 miles. Time is irrelevant, but just doing it's incredibly taxing mentally, I'd say more than physically, but it certainly takes its toll on the body. And so, yeah, the accumulation of what's felt like 2 years, but certainly this past 3 months, there's been so much energy mentally and physically that was put into this. When I crossed that line, I was like, oh my God, it's paid off. And it's the most amazing feeling, and it's a feeling that I want for all my clients or anybody who's striving towards their own goals, half marathon. It's just the best. And I embraced the day, I enjoyed it, I was waving, I was high-fiving, and I just enjoyed it because I knew that I'd done everything to be on that start line. If I hadn't have done the work, then there would have been more nerves than there was. I was obviously anxious to do well, to prove that I'm capable of what I say I'm capable of. The goal was sub 3, and I did 14 minutes more, so just overwhelmingly happy. So now I've had some burger and chips. I'm going to have a major come down later, but you best believe I'm wearing this for the entire week. So again, I don't know how this video is going to look, but I suppose to recap, it's been an experience I'll never ever forget. I'm here in New York for a few more days, but if you get the opportunity to apply for the New York City Marathon, I can only encourage you to do it. And not only to do it, but to work incredibly hard, because it makes the occasion more special and it makes it exhilarating. And seeing the families and just seeing the whole city out on the streets, it's something it's difficult to describe. So yeah, go chase whatever it is that you want to achieve. I did it. So happy. And so yeah, I'm gonna go now and shower, and I'm gonna lay horizontal for a bit. So 8 minutes. Hope this is worth a watch. I'll see you in the next one.